All right, we're gonna wait for some viewership here. Look at this. All right, this is Pixel the parakeet. His wings are trimmed, so he's not able to fly so well. It doesn't keep him from flying off, though. And you can hear him peeping now. And you can hear Kiwi peeping in the background. So that's Pixel. He's probably about, I don't know, 3.5 months old now, at the most. He loves the phone like Kiwi. No, they're not going to meet yet. You can see he really loves his image on the screen, though, so I think they'll have a lot of fun when they meet. You can see his wings are clipped, but he can still fly as far as the phone. He likes the glasses, though. He knows how to do it. There we go. So anyway, he bites. He actually bites a hell of a lot harder than Kiwi does. He's a good bird, but when he bites your finger, it hurts a lot compared to Kiwi. I mean, Kiwi will bite you as hard as he can, and it still doesn't hurt as much as this. Someone asked, how did you train Pixel so fast that you could put him on your finger? He was trained when he was being hand-raised at the pet store where we got him from. And he's, like you can see, he's still biting me. He was very tame from the time that we got him. Once he acclimated to being in the house a little bit, he stepped up onto a finger much more easily. And he's really young, yeah. New birds are quite a bit easier to train. Young birds are quite a bit easier to train than old birds are, especially if they haven't been too much around other birds. But he's got quite the little personality here. Come here. And he's getting to that point where he hates being grabbed. They're okay for a while when they're really small, but now he actually protests. He makes angry little noises whenever we try and pick him up. But he also does that little sneeze and protest that you might have heard. Let's see here. Looking at the comments, they're going so fast. Oh yeah, Caroline says, my budgie bites really hard too, not hand raised and not clipped. He comes to me when he feels like it, getting trust up to 2 months now. Yeah, it takes a while. You know, they do remember stuff. If you treat them poorly, they will definitely remember it, and they will not want to be around you. So we have to be really careful not to do anything that gives him bad associations with humans or with hands. How long have you had Pixel? We've had him about 3 weeks. And let's see. I have 6 parakeets, and they sometimes love me. Yeah, I mean, if you have 6 parakeets, more likely than not, they're going to bond to each other, and so they're not going to enjoy human interaction as much. Let's see. My budgie pooped on me. Is that good for bonding or meaningless? They don't really pay any attention to when they're pooping, so I don't think it means anything. Let's see. Yeah, parakeets tend to be really scared of hands at first because, you know, their association with hands is people grabbing them, right? So if you see my hand go up, he gets a little bit scared. So we're still trying to train that out of him a little bit. Whereas with Kiwi, we go right up to the cage, and he loves to be held. Kiwi loves being on your finger and being near you. So you come up the stairs, and he's just all over it. So someone asked about Kiwi. Kiwi is 3 years old, a little bit over 3 years old. He's very scared of everything. I think they say that budgies are 90% fear. Come here, you. He's like, you can't see this, but he's lashed onto my finger, and he was like hanging upside down. They say budgies are 90% fear. That's pretty much true. They're afraid of everything, especially noises and, yeah, shadows and everything. You can see he's got a feather out of order here, which can't really do anything about that until he fixes it himself. Someone said about Pixel, did we train him or did he come trained? He was hand raised, so he was sort of trained in the shop a little bit. But here, I'm going to switch the camera. There we go. Why do budgies have long tail feathers? That's a good question. Just their breed of parrot. Breed of long-tailed parrots. Pixel is about 3 months old. Can you explain wing clipping? Yeah, he doesn't really fly so well, and so he crashes into objects, which could really injure him. And so his wings have actually started to grow out a little bit since we got him, and they came clipped from the store where we bought him from, and we decided that he was gaining enough ability and flying into things so much that it was dangerous. So we trimmed him further. It doesn't stop him from trying to fly into the blinds and stuff, but it makes it so he can't fly as far. He can still fly. He might fly off the couch anytime, but not sure. It's kind of a good sign that he likes being near me. He's nice and tame. Yeah, how do you clip them? You might want to watch some YouTube videos on that. You have to be really careful. You don't clip the inner flight wings. You can only clip the outer flight wings. And it often can take 2 people if you're not really super knowledgeable about it. The best way is to hold them and hold their neck so they can't crane around too much. And then you pull the wing apart and you can get to the outer flight feathers that way. And it's kind of a process. And Pixel really bit us a lot when we were doing that. I mean, there was dents in my finger after we as we were trimming his wings. Don't clip them, it's bad news. That's your opinion. Kiwi is completely unclipped at this point because he knows how to fly and he knows how not to fly into windows. But when we had him young, we had his wings clipped quite often because he was flying into stuff. And I'm sure that once Pixel is older and more mature, we won't have to clip his wings. But yeah, I mean, some people are really against it. I don't see the issue. They're indoor birds. If it makes it safer for them, then okay. Someone says, how much longer till you introduce them? Why does he like the camera so much? Probably another couple weeks till we introduce them. We're going to do it slowly just to make sure that they don't bond to each other too quickly. We want them to be okay around each other, but we want Pixel to be tamed, as well. And if we just let them both loose together, they might fight, and they definitely would bond less with humans that way. Yeah, exactly. Jacko's got it right. Flying into windows and getting themselves killed is bad news. The wings grow back. They definitely do. Sometimes it can take 4 to 6 months for all the molting to happen and for all the wing feathers to come back, but they do come back. It's never permanent. How long have you had Pixel? About 2.5 weeks. Maybe close to 3 weeks. They need practice to fly well. That's absolutely true. He gets practice even with the clipped wings. He's learning how to steer. And someone said he's got big eyes. Yeah, I think he does. He's also a really small budgie. We chose him on purpose because he was smaller, because Kiwi is such a small parakeet too, and we wanted them to be closely matched in size. That's that look like he's about to jump. And he's flapping furiously on top of the phone. Kiwi never did that. Kiwi never did that thing where he grabs onto a bar and then just flaps like crazy. But Pixel's been doing it. Yeah, his tail feathers have grown out significantly since we got him. His tail feathers were probably only down to about here when we got him, and now they've grown all the way out. He's got double tail feathers too, which is kind of fun. He doesn't like being kissed as much as Kiwi. He'll bite me. See, angry noise. So I try not to do it too much. He loves biting us on the nose, which is kind of ineffective since he can't really get a good grip on it. When will his first birthday be? Probably, let's see, March of 2018 is my guess. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how their personalities end up being so different from each other. I mean, Kiwi is pretty sassy with us as of late. But yeah, Pixel, he's just kind of ornery sometimes. He's a very sweet bird, but I think he's just still getting used to his environment. All right, more high def view. Do either birds have a preference to you and your wife? I know some certain birds will favorite a person. Yeah, Kiwi, my wife will say this. She'll be the first one to say it, but Kiwi definitely likes me better. He loves being on me, but he still cuddles up with her too. Kiwi's birthday is probably also around the same time of year, probably around June. So yeah, Kiwi's 3 years old now. And people keep asking, how long have you had Pixel? We've had him 2.5 weeks. Any pointers on how to get my little lorikeet to talk? Is it Loki the parakeet, or is it Loki as in lorikeet? I'm not sure which one you mean. But in terms of any parrot, the way to get him to talk is just to repeat the same phrase over and over again in the same exact tone and the same, inflection, intonation, and everything. And find a really short word or phrase and do it over and over again near their cage, like 30 to 50 times a day. And eventually they, understand that as a noise of their flock or their environment, and they start to repeat it. Let's see, how old are budgies typically in stores like PetSmart and such versus breeders? That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think a lot of pet stores sell baby ones, but a lot of pet stores will separate out adult ones too. Kiwi and Pixel are both male parakeets. Ooh, I can do bubbles. This is funny. Old fashioned. I didn't know you could do this on the live videos. How about dance party? Dance party burb. He's like almost dancing to it. Do Kiwi and Pixel have a certain place they like to be in the most? That's a good question. They've been pretty adaptable to wherever we put him. We keep Pixel in the bedroom at night because it's warmer, but we put him out in the dining room area during the day because there's more natural daylight. Not direct sunlight, but just natural light. How much did Pixel cost, and how much would a budgie cost from a pet store? Most budgies are usually $15 to $20 from a pet store, and in our case, because he was hand-raised, Pixel was $40. Both Pixel and Kiwi were $40 each. How do I get my budgie to stand on my finger? You have to get your budgie used to you being close to the cage, and then used to your hand being close to the cage, and eventually, over time, you can get them acclimated to your hand being inside the cage. It's like Horrorman 2005 says, you have to take slow steps. It takes a long time. You have to get your budgie to trust you. There's guides online. Yes, the birds will probably get to meet in a few weeks. They've had informal meetings where I can hold Kiwi over the ledge from upstairs and he can look down and see Pixel. And yeah, they haven't really met for sure, but they are both aware that there's another bird in the house. He's looking around. He's really curious. We've been trying to get him transitioned over from just birdseed over to the pellets that we feed Kiwi. So slowly by slowly, I've been adding more pellets to the mix of seeds to the point where now it's mostly pellets and just a little bit of seeds. He seems to be eating them just fine. And on that note, I think the live stream is coming to an end. So thank everyone for watching, and feel free to leave your comments. Hit like, remember to subscribe, and have a good one. Bye.